Hello, welcome to Work Life Matters by Dean. The counseling topic for this session is emotional intelligence. I am Dean Agbola Ibrahim. I'm an author, a mathematician, a poet, an artist, a US trained management consultant, the former head of production management at the Nigerian Institute of Management. Presently, I'm the chief executive officer of Honest Associates. My email address is displayed on the screen. We're talking about emotions. People who are matured, who show maturity in relationship, are people who say they are emotionally intelligent. When we say emotions, we are talking about feelings. There are 4 key ones. When you are glad, when you are scared, when you are sad, and when you are mad. Mad is anger. Scared is fear. Sad and glad. So I've listed a whole range of emotions for us here, starting from the glad aspect, which is happiness, optimism, love, ecstasy, and it moves on to the irritation, disgust, worry, doubt, being ashamed, anger, that is the mad one now, when the person is mad. Then you have fear, you have sadness, grief, depression, despair, doom, hopelessness. So 4 key emotions: glad, scared, mad, sad. Intelligence is what we use to solve problems. So when you are emotionally intelligent, you will use emotional intelligence to solve problems, to find the best optimal solutions in relationships. And if you want to be a successful leader, husband, wife, student, lecturer, supplier, you must have emotional intelligence. Because there is no way in relationship, if you do not manage your sadness, your gladness, your fear, if you don't manage your emotions skillfully, if you do not allow emotions to block logic, you must not allow emotions to block logic. Because when emotions are too high, you are too glad, you are too scared, you are too mad, you are too sad. Anytime it is too much, it can affect logic and you will not be able to solve problems successfully. So to solve problems successfully, manage your emotions. You have 4 key areas: self-awareness, knowing yourself; self-management, being in control of your emotions; social awareness, knowing the other person, the other party; and social skills, being able to build relationship based on the 3 key ones we have seen. So when I know myself, I can flare up in this situation. Self-management, I will tell myself, I will not flare up. You will not provoke me. I will not get angry. That's how I've managed myself. Then social awareness, I know you. From there, we can be able to solve problems in the relationship. These are the key 4 clusters you have to know. Let's start. Self-awareness. This is the ability to accurately sense and identify personal feelings. You must sense it when you are sad, when you are scared, when you are sad, and when you are mad. You must sense it. This man is trying to provoke me. This woman is trying to provoke me. I am too happy at this moment. I am not going to sign this overtime claims. I am too happy at this moment. I am not going to sign this requisition for engine oil. These are examples that I have seen in life in which managers who lack emotional intelligence have been taken advantage of. Why? Because they lack self-awareness and they lack self-control. So self-awareness is the ability to accurately sense and identify what? Your personal feelings. It is concerned with knowing about your own internal states. All those emotions that are listed in the beginning, once they are happening inside you, you must know them. Once they are too high, they can affect logic. Logic is reasonable. The behavior that are not reasonable because emotions were too high usually lead to regret. A traditional ruler beating up his wife in the public, an ambassador beating up his wife in the public, a policeman shooting people up out of rage. Why? Lack of emotional intelligence. They have lost it because when emotion is too high, you sometimes do things that you may regret. Individuals who have high self-awareness are able to conduct accurate self-appraisal. How am I feeling now? I was in a meeting, a statement was made, was supposed to provoke me. If I allow it to provoke me because of lack of self-awareness when I was not emotional, I will do things that I will regret. Or I may not even be able to think clearly. You will recall a very great boxer. Anytime he wants to fight his opponent, what does he do? He provokes the opponent. Before the fight, he provokes the opponent. Inside the ring, he provokes the opponent. He keeps on whispering into the opponent, is that all you can do? Show me something. You call yourself champion. Then he turns the opponent. And opponents who are not emotionally intelligent, they lose it. All their fight plan is gone. So you have to know yourself. Self-awareness is very, very important, particularly when it comes to your emotion. Emotional self-awareness is the ability to recognize your own emotions and their effects on you, because they do affect your behavior. So once you identify, what are you supposed to do? Control yourself. Take the driver's seat. Take charge. Great leaders do that. Self-management is the ability to understand your emotions and then use that understanding to what? To turn the situation to your benefit. You will not provoke me. Because my girlfriend is around, you are bringing your overtime claims now. I will not sign it. I will look at it thoroughly later. Because I'm angry now, you are bringing this requisition form. I will not sign it. That's self-management. You are in control. Put it down. I will check it later. When emotions are down, when things are cool, then you can check it clear-headed. So you have to be clear-headed in your behavior. Self-management is the ability to use your feelings to reason well and act intentionally. Emotional self-control is the ability to keep impulsive feelings and emotions under control. You must be in charge. You must be in charge as a leader. Don't let sadness, anger, fear to be so high that you do things that you will regret. Now, you already know yourself, self-awareness. You are in touch with your feelings, and you are trying now to be in charge, self-management, self-control, self-discipline. The next stage, which is the third stage, social awareness. You want to know your husband. You want to know your wife. You want to know that supplier you are interacting with. You want to know the customer that you are dealing with. You want to know your boss. You want to know yourself. Whoever the other person is, your lecturer, your student, social. Who is this person? What type of feeling is the person having now? That is what we call social awareness. It refers to how people handle relationship and awareness of others' feelings, their needs, and their concerns. It is the ability to recognize and appropriately respond to the emotions and feelings of others. So that based on those three earlier clusters that I have told you about, which are what? Self-awareness, self-management, and then knowing the other person, social awareness. You can now use those three to bring them into your social skills. You know yourself, you know the other person, you are in charge of yourself. So in your interaction with the other person, it will be relatively more intelligent. It will be more matured. That is what social emotional intelligence gives you. So in the relationship, it refers to a proficiency as suggesting desirable responses to others. Your responses will be proficient. They will be the right one. They will be the optimal solutions in given situation. People with good social skills are good business leaders. You see them. They get along with people. They know themselves. When you want to do something that they should be angry, they laugh. You cannot make me angry. Why? Because they know themselves, they know you, and they want to get it. They lead by example, encouraging others in positive ways, validating them, and creating trust within them. Identify emotions, awareness of emotions, and the ability to do that is what emotional intelligence does for you. Identifying your emotions. It provides awareness of the emotions and the ability to accurately read other people, which sometimes we call empathy. Reading their body language. Say, okay, this person is not happy. When I'm in a class giving a lecture and participants are bored, I can read it on their face. I try to make it more interesting. When it is time to go and I'm still talking, and they put their cards, car keys on top of the table and they stop taking notes. Emotionally intelligent people extend the feeling on others. Say, okay, should we round it off for today? Because you have told me without saying it with your body language that it is enough for today. So that is what we do as emotionally intelligent people. We read other people, we know ourselves, and we try to get along so that there won't be unnecessary problems. And we don't do things that we will regret. Understanding emotions offers insight into what motivates people and others' points of view. Finally, managing emotions allow you to stay open to your emotions, which have valuable information, and use them constructively so that the relationship will continue to prosper. Emotionally intelligent leadership is the key to creating a work climate in which employees are nurtured and encouraged to do their best. In conclusion, it is very helpful to know what EI, that's emotional intelligence, is, and to be able to use it in various circumstances. You can use it in the university, in your hostel, everywhere you are dealing with people at home. Try and be emotional as a leader of a country. Be emotionally intelligent. I thank you for your patience. I wish you well.